the founder of Body Honor Skincare, correct?
Yes, yes.
All right. Say what's up to the people.
How you doing, people? I love the title of the podcast, by the way, not just Candle Talk. But hello, thank you for having me. My name is Cammay Gray. Um, like was stated before, I am the founder and owner of Body Honor Skincare, a natural skincare brand that focuses on honoring ourselves, putting the best of the best in our body and on our body, but just as well as mentally, physically, and spiritually, living well, living our best lives however we see fit.
Love that. Love that. Love that. When I started can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. When I started thinking about doing the podcast, you were like at the top of one of the people of the list of the people I wanted to bring on.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that. Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
I had like, you know, five, at least five that I knew for sure that I want to reach out to. It's just a matter of timing.
Right.
But we're finally here, and I appreciate you coming on, blessing us.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. It's just one of those things where when you collaborate with someone, and not even so much of a project or anything like that, but just the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's important, the conversations that we have and the people that we have them with. And I don't know. Our background, we go way back and we haven't even met in person.
That's 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 true.
So that means a lot. What we put out into the universe and online, our social media presence really really matters. So
I
I'm just
agree.
grateful that we've made it this far and we've been able to patronize each other's businesses. And so I'm just excited, and I just thank you for having me and thinking of me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what inspired you to start a skincare product as opposed to anything else?
So I've always been into like health and wellness and, really taking care of my skin, taking care of myself. And in 2015, I moved to LA, and I'm from the East Coast, by the way, Maryland to be exact. And
Okay.
so I moved to LA to pursue a venture with someone at the time. And my background is really fashion and luxury retail management. But I like all of the things, like all five things, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so moving to LA and just being in the midst of just the California dream. I feel like people in Cali, or maybe LA in particular, they're really into taking care of themselves. So, you can get a green juice on any corner. Like the sun is always shining. So like the vitamin D levels are on a trillion. So,
Okay.
I just felt like wellness and self-care really is a thing. Like people live it and breathe it. And so I was just like, wow, like this is what I'm talking about. Whereas sometimes back east, it's more about the hustle and the bustle. And not
Mm-hmm.
saying that we don't take care of ourselves, but it's just a different energy on the East Coast. So anyway, I just changing climates and things like that. My skin did change, and
Okay.
I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not about this. But coming back, fast forwarding to 2020 and in the midst of the pandemic, and just overall my lifetime, honestly, my
Okay.
adulthood, people have always asked me, like, what do you do to do this? And I've always kind of been into more of a natural remedy as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to something else. And so
Okay.
I'm like, oh, yeah, you use this for that, or you use this for that. And one of my good girlfriends, she was like, Cam, you really should like start doing a product. And I was like, really? Like I never, like I just kind of do it because I like it and I really just want to go the cleanest route possible.
Mm-hmm.
And my job situation changed during COVID, like everyone else's. Life for all of us. in
Right.
different ways, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay.
So I thought about what it means to really honor myself, and I'm thinking of names, and how I want to, I just didn't want it to be generic. And so first, actually, my maternal grandmother, her name was Honor. And I
Mm-hmm.
think about how she was and just how she set the bar for everything. She's literally the matriarch of our family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just really the best of the best. And then I just also thought about like my relationship with God, and just like my relationship with other people, and the things that I wanted for my life. So
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I didn't want the brand to just be about skincare. I just really wanted it to be, about wholeness and wellness and really honoring ourselves. So
Love that.
I just dove in head first. And I started with 3 products, which I still currently have.
Mm-hmm.
And I started going to a local small business artisan, like farmers market, actually in front of a coffee shop
I
in
remember that.
Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, in
Uh-huh.
Wilmington, Delaware, which is I lived in Delaware for a number of years. I went to school there. My undergrad is there, so I just had connections with different people in the
Mm-hmm.
city of Wilmington, and from there it just blossomed. And then I just posted it on social media, and everyone that knows me knows that I don't play about myself and other things. So they were just like, whatever you got, I'm buying. Like, so it was
Right.
just kind of one of those things. And it took off from there.
I love that. I love that. I love that the name that you chose has that much of a hold on everything that you do. That's important, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of just pulling something out the air. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. And I've actually tried the one of your products for my cuticles, the oil.
What
And
your nails looking like?
oh, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Like the first thing I noticed when using the product is how it softened up my cuticles, and it just it made my nails stronger as well because I have long nails. So naturally long nails. So it just strengthened. I could tell the difference right away. I didn't need much. I used very little, but definitely saw the strength and the shine and the complexion of my skin. It was smoother
Awesome.
because
I love it.
I work with my hands a lot, so it's like any
Yes.
any type
Yes.
of any type of smoothness I can get. I'm like, yes, this is it.
This is it. I know. I know. And I thought about that also at the time, especially with the nail and cuticle oil products. I'm the same way. Like my nails are naturally long. I have a really nice nail bed.
Hmm.
But we were at that time that, like I said, it was actually July of 2020, my birthday month.
Hmm.
And we were really in the thick of COVID. So we're sanitizing every 5 minutes. So I'm like, not only is it just something that I like, and got some feedback and seeing what kind of things people would want, but like we needed it because we were always washing and
Hmm.
sanitizing, and not that we aren't still currently, but we really just didn't know what was going on with COVID. So
Hmm.
I'm like, we got to keep our hands and our nails feeling and looking good. So that was also kind of an inspiration
Okay.
behind creating the nail and cuticle strengthening oil. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. So let me see. It's almost what Christmas right around the corner. Do you have anything, any highlights right now for the business? Um, with
You
Christmas
know,
right around the corner.
yeah, I do right now. So I haven't introduced any new product as of yet.
Hmm.
In 2024 is likely when that will happen. But right now, anyone can make a purchase of any amount, doesn't matter how big or small, and you will receive a free gift. And I'm a good gift giver, so these are good gifts if I do say so myself.
Love
So
it.
like as soon as I posted that and updated it on the site, people were like, boom, 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 like the orders were coming in.
Wow.
So I'm grateful for the orders anytime. I'm not, I'm just grateful. What the meme that's on social media that you probably have seen anytime you purchase from a small business, a person is doing a happy dance. So I
Right.
literally am. And not just so much for the sales. I mean, of course, that's a plus. But when people tell me like, Cam, your stuff really works, that really makes me, happy. I have two
Right.
clients that have like autoimmune diseases, and their skin goes through changes often. And they told me like, I can, now that I've gotten your product, like your product is the only thing that works on my skin, and I've been dealing with things for years. So it's like, wow, something like that really impacts people's confidence, or just
Yeah.
overall well-being, and a product that I just kind of came up with. And I won't even say that I just came up with. God gave me the inspiration to do that. That means a lot to me. That means more to me than the sale, the monetary value. So
Absolutely.
yes.
I get that. I get that. That's how I feel about the candles. It's like, oh, you like my candles? You really do?
Yes.
I
Let
don't
me tell
even
you, I
know.
burn that candle down, girl. That thing, I burn that thing down. I love sandalwood. It's time for me to re up. I need something new.
Oh yes. You know what? Sandalwood is one of those. I like it myself. Like I don't know. I like woodsy
Me too.
and floral.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a floral girl. But yeah, I'm like, man, you really like it?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I just get like I just look at people and be like, you sure you like it?
Yeah. I
And I
know.
like, and I think for us, it's the people who come back. You know,
Yes.
you come back and they ask, hey, they remember because we run through like we got so many different types of candles. And they remember. And I used to be like, I had to scratch my head, like, man, when did we make that one?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate those people that remember the stuff that we've like left behind. Remember the one such and such and such? I don't come up with the names. My partner comes up with the names, and so I have to ask her like, now which one was that?
Right.
I don't because I'm terrible at that type of stuff. She comes up with all the crazy names and stuff. But yeah, it's the people that come back and say, "Hey, I love that. Can you do it again?"
Yeah. Yeah, that, I mean, it really tugs on my heartstrings. I'm like, wow, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a million different candle brands, and there's a million different skincare brands, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, they choose to patronize us, and I'm just so grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what okay, I ask everybody this question just about who comes on the podcast. So where you at where when you started and where you're at now, do you think you're at the correct um should I say uh hey, are you on the right pace
Mhm.
of when you started until now, would you say? At the same, more, less? Or do you want to touch on it a little bit?
When I first started, I feel like when I first started, I really hit the ground running. The momentum was there.
Mm,
I was excited, and I'm still excited, but some things, happen in between, just life be life, and I
yeah.
kind of took a step back. I've been kind of quiet, like on social media, but I'm still, active, or people that have patronized before. They ask me about it, and they're like, what's going on? We haven't heard from you. But I'm a person that's passionate about multiple things. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of had took a step back, because I'm like, God, this fashion and apparel is calling my name again. It's never
Mm-hmm.
going to stop calling my name.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, in the midst of having that moment of just kind of slowing down, thought about like, this is a brand that I made,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it wasn't because of money. So it's like, you have to remember why you started. And I'm like, yeah, I got to turn it back up. So really, like October last month, like this last quarter of the year, it just came to me like, all right, you gotta get back in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say my pace in the beginning, I definitely hit the ground running. Um, and I did kind of slow down a little bit, like the early part of this year, the latter part of 2022. But now 24, I got to get back. I want to get back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that. And I like I said, I talk to a lot of people. Like I network basically every day. I'm talking to somebody about what they're into. And I hear that a lot. It's peaks and valleys, because I'm learning that a lot of people, what they do is just from passion. It really doesn't have anything to do with making money.
Mm-hmm.
So surprisingly enough, people think, "Oh, I'm going to make all of this money." It might be some people that think that, but a lot of people that I've come across is just doing it because of the passion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. You-
Yeah.
I really have to say, wow, because you don't think that, when
Yeah.
and you could get that from social media where everybody is presenting themselves as making all this money. And it's like, but where is that your passion?
Right.
And are you talking about that? Because I think that should be the forefront of it.
I agree. And like you said, everybody on social media is, making all this money and doing all this and doing that. But like the truth of the matter, like small businesses, sometimes like we really don't see results or maybe the desired amount of money until like our fourth, fifth year.
That's
I mean,
true.
it can take some time. So
That's a
like
fact.
you have to know, like, yo, I might not get it all. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there have been times where I'm like, yeah, I definitely spent way more than I earned this week, this month, this quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay because I'm pouring it back into the business.
Absolutely.
So you do have to be patient. And this has taught me patience. Because like I'm not impatient, but I
Mm-hmm.
am kind of one of those people that like, all right, I want this to like pop off right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
get it.
like, no, like you gotta give yourself grace as well as the brand, the business. Like you said, you're talking to people, not being afraid to talk to people, bring up your business, talk about yourself. Because I think sometimes there's so much self promotion, right? And sometimes it's like, do I bring this up? When's the right time to bring up my business, bring up my brand? I don't want to sound like because I'm like that. Like I like to hear what everybody else has going on. I will promote myself and my things, but like also I'm just never the type to just be like me, 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 me.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I know I have pulled back and just haven't mentioned that I have a skincare brand or anything like
Absolutely.
that. And
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I gotta stop doing that. I have to
Mm-hmm.
stop doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. Because I don't do it either. People I don't tell I don't lead with that at all. I do not lead with that. It never crosses my mind to lead with anything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
It depends on the conversation I'm having at the time, but I'm open to listening to what other people have going on. And, most of the time for me, it's just, hey, you know what? Keep going.
Yeah.
You keep doing that. I'm okay, auntie.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that's you know that's the response I get because I'm at that
That's the
age where they
response I
call me auntie.
get
I'm at that
too.
age where they call me auntie, so I'm like, yeah, just keep going. That's good to hear. That's good to hear, especially if, they're younger than me, of course. It's like that's good. I just want to hear the good news.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
are out there being creative. That's awesome. Um, where do we go from here? I was talking to someone who um who is a creator. He's an artist, and he was telling me like nothing that he does is for money. Nothing at all. Everything he does is just from just being a creator. And I appreciate anybody that's like that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to start the podcast is I think creatives they need their voice, uh, any type of form, fashion. Um,
I agree.
yeah.
I
So,
agree.
hmm So is there
Like
any?
that's the only way that, like you said, I mean, it's got to be from the passion because otherwise, I mean, that was for me. It's been at least like 6, 7 months before I even,
Mm-hmm.
I had took the website down for a moment, or I didn't even like have a sale. So it wasn't because I couldn't get one, but it was just like, I just need to take a step back for a minute and just knowing what you need in that moment or in that time frame, So like, it's really comes from passion. Because if it was about the money, I would be like, no, I can't take my site down for, 6 months and not possibly get a sale. No, that'd be crazy. But like for me, it wasn't even about that. So,
Mm-hmm.
it is important to let people know, when we are creating and building these brands and things, it's not just always about the money. It really isn't. We really genuinely want to make something that's going to enlighten someone,
Mm-hmm.
make someone's life better,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just share our gifts with the world. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm all about just and being an inspiration to the next person because you never know, right?
yeah.
And that's another thing that the guy who I was talking to, he was saying just being an inspiration is enough. And I had to bow down on that one because that's what it's about.
Hmm.
And we're so far from that, but if you can get a community,
Yes,
a community that can hear that, I've done my job.
that's right. You
I've done my
definitely,
job.
yeah,
Is
just a
there
little spark.
just a little bit? It doesn't take much. So, is there any questions you would like to ask me, or anything you want to bounce off me, or anything?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So
go ahead. Go for it.
you have been consistent with your candle business from what I see from social media and just, our conversations in between. So how have you been able to keep the momentum? Like, I guess the same question you asked me, like, how do you feel in terms of when you launched
Hmm.
and now, like, how do you feel?
Okay. Um, that's a good question. So we're in our fourth year right now, right?
Mm,
And look,
go ahead, girl.
I listen, I wasn't even thinking about time. I didn't set a goal, nothing. I'm gonna be honest, not one goal. So, um, from the time we started, we were just messing around, right? It's like a hobby. It's something I like to do. Um, because like I'm a creator, right? So, um, and then it turned into people start asking about the product. And I'm like, wait a minute, why are they asking about so I had to get into business mode, right?
Hmm.
So um that's my side of the business. It's the business part, the stuff that's in the background people don't really see. And my business partner is more of on a creative side as far as names and everything like that, staging and all that. So long story short, I don't have I'm going to say we're doing good just based on
Mm,
the fact that I had no expectations of where I wanted to be in the first place, and we're here at 4 years.
yes,
So we're at a steady pace, right?
yes.
We never wanted to open up a store. We wanted to keep everything online. So what we did, instead of going to try to do a store, we just did um events, going
Hmm.
to events and going to markets, open markets and things to get exposure. And that turned out well. So we're on the pace that we currently want to be. We're not rushing, we're not rushing at all because
Yeah.
it's we're not giving it up. So we don't have to rush.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because
That's
we could be as creative and add on and take away and you know. So from when we started to now we're on a nice pace that we want to be because we never anticipated being here this long.
right. Nice.
I hope that answered your question.
No, that yeah, no, that does for sure. I mean, just
Mhm.
congratulations,
Thank
one,
you.
for making it to 4 years.
Hmm.
Like they say, statistics say within the first 3 to 4 years, small businesses sometimes don't even make it. So to be able to be in the game that long and you didn't even have a goal or like a plan,
Nope.
I'm sure you maybe not like tangible goals, but just to be able to take the vision from
Hmm.
inception to where you are now, that's amazing. So I always that is awesome. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. We
But
appreciate it.
yeah,
We appreciate it.
I just love to see it. I love to see it. So
Hmm.
you're more like the numbers girl, the
Yes.
logistics. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to we definitely have to sit down and chit chat. I'm like right now, it's a one man band, so I'm keeping my book straight. I'm making it. I'm shipping it. I'm marketing it.
Hmm.
So I think when you get to certain points in your business, when it's time to enlist some help,
Hmm.
and just pull
Absolutely.
from outsourced resources and just making sure you have that community to lean on and just might be like, look, I just need to vent. I need to talk to somebody because the
Absolutely.
math ain't mathing right now, or
Yeah.
I just need another person that will understand and not look at me with two heads.
Hmm.
Because sometimes people be like, well, why are you starting the business and why are you doing that? Although I honestly have never had that issue, so I'm grateful for that. Like I'm very very particular about who I allow to speak into my life and let them know what's going on. So I've never had any like hater vibes in terms of that, from people close to me and asking about the business. But
Right.
there's always one
They're out there.
willows. They
I-
out there.
they're out
But
there. I've never come across it either. I've never come across anybody that asks me that. They're like, "What are you doing now? You're always doing
yeah,
something. What are you
like what's
doing
next?
now?"
I'm like, wait, let me just get this straight. Let me perfect this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, uh, like I said, I appreciate you coming on. I knew this was going to be a good one, because we have a lot of things in common. Um, sense that from afar. We don't need to talk every day to understand that.
I know.
Um, we don't. And like I said, I appreciate you coming on. And I want to, like, with all my guests that I have on, I always invite them again to come on to you know, continue, like, bring we have to build this community, right? To to,
Yeah.
to continue to come on the show and tell us whatever you want to tell us.
Okay.
Whatever you want to talk about. We're open, always an open door. Because I truly want to build a community of entrepreneurs and people and creatives and the like. Um,
Yes, I would love to come back. There's
mhm.
so much more to say.
It's so much
So
more to say, right? We have to cut it
yeah.
short because I'm getting a little flag to
Yes.
cut to quarter to cut. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your handles in the description of this podcast. So anybody want to reach out and get some skincare products, I'm going to put Body Honor Skincare in the description. And we're going to
Yes.
have Cam come back on and we're going to talk some more. We got a ton of stuff to talk about, I'm sure.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so I'm going to end it right here.
All
And
right.
I appreciate you coming on and you take care.
You too. I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
All
And
right.
I look forward to the next conversation. Happy holidays, everyone. Let's get it 2024.
That's right. All right. We're out.
All right. We're out.
Bye. Bye.